Hey guys, my name is Birdie and welcome back to my channel. This is Clown Cows. Disclaimer. Anything I say, write, imply, or speculate on is my personal thoughts and opinions and should never be taken as fact because it's not. This channel, including in the comment section, is nothing more or less than the sharing of opinions and personal views on publicly accessible information made public by its owners. I'm a flawed human, so my opinions may be flawed as well. I'm also an expert in nothing, so please seek expert advice if you have questions. If you're ready, I'm ready. So let's get started. In today's video, I wanted to go over a few things from Amber's live stream, the one that she titled The End of an Era. It's just some things that had really stood out to me, and I wanted to talk about the potential cover-ups that I believe may be going on. In the start of her live stream, Amber tried to introduce herself as being nervous. She also said she wanted to wait and speak until more people were in the chat. And after she did start talking, she used the word vulnerable to describe herself. Now, I do believe that she may have been a teeny bit nervous because she knew that she was giving her speech to a room full of people who had reported her. So she knew that people may have a difficult time finding their sympathy bones. I believe that Amber knew that the importance of this last live stream was going to be great because this was her last manipulative tactic to try to get to work to earn money off of her viewers. I'm going to show you how and why I believe she did this, so just hang in there for a minute. The entire live stream, in my opinion, was her not so final but heavily manipulated and connived grift. So Amber brought up Twinkie suddenly needing surgery after telling us for months and months that Twinkie was fine and that the growth, those fatty tumors, were both harmless and painless. In previous videos, she even became smug and adamant that she was indeed taking Twinkie to vets regularly when people had pushed back and told her that she wasn't fit to have pets because she was neglecting all of them. Now, if we really look at what Amber said, and if we really think about it, why would Amber be taking Twinkie to the vet regularly over a condition that she told us was both harmless, painless, as well as common? And she claims that she had even taken Twinkie to a vet for a second opinion, and that vet had told her the same thing. So again, why did she say in a previous video that Twinkie was seeing a vet very often and absolutely nothing was wrong with Twinkie? And then suddenly in her last live stream, Twinkie needs emergency surgery to remove the mass. I think a couple of things are possibly going on with this, okay? But I think it all has the same hopeful outcome for Amber. If Twinkie is indeed having surgery, a planned surgery, then why hadn't Amber saved any money over the past few months to pay for it? If she was planning on using her November paycheck to pay for Twinkie's surgery, which is allegedly scheduled for this Friday, and that's November the 28th, then how was she planning on paying for her DoorDash, rent, electricity, and other necessities? Think about it. Amber basically told us that she's living paycheck to paycheck, and the only money she had saved was for her tax bill. So if she had planned on using her November paycheck, which she did not receive because she was demonetized before those checks were cut, if that check, which would have been very small, was going to cover the alleged vet bill, then exactly how was she going to continue with her eating habits as well as paying her rent and her other bills that she needs to survive, such as her utilities, electricity, water, just those things that she absolutely has to have. So we are supposed to believe that she is paycheck to paycheck, no supplemental money saved, no emergency money saved. She's making very, very little off of her YouTube monthly checks, and yet she's scheduled a surgery for Twinkie. So let us assume that half of her check was going to cover Twinkie's alleged bill. Who was going to cover the rent, DoorDash, and all of those other expenses? In my opinion, she's lying. Option one is that she did not have the savings that she bragged and flexed about in that video she uploaded in early September, where she said that she had an amazing savings and so she was taking a month off.
I was talking to my friend. I said, I am going to take a break from YouTube because mentally, it's not worth it to me. It's not worth it. Thankfully, I have an amazing savings. I, worked for my money and I got it.
Or option two, she does have a savings that pays for more than just her taxes and she's lying about it. Or option three, she's got people within a certain community covering her food expenses and most likely a few of her necessary bills as well. I doubt that she would count on that community long term, though, especially if she's not regularly uploading big body shots, because I think that they'll just move on to another super fat and lose interest with her. I believe that her live stream was nothing more than a grift. Amber has given her Cash App information, her Cameo information, and her Venmo information for the sole purpose of soliciting donations. What Amber didn't tell us is that she had privated her videos, though. She said that she had taken them down, but she didn't delete them. I don't think so, at least, and I'm going to explain why. I believe that the videos were privated, and she did not tell us that she could reapply for monetization to be back in as early as 90 days for a very good reason. She wants for people to think that she got fired, that she did absolutely nothing wrong that deserved termination, that YouTube must be fat phobic, and now her little doggy is very, very sick and needing surgery. Your atheist prayers as well, because Twinkie, she just might not make it, and it's all our fault. You see, Amber thinks that we owe her money for reporting her over the years of her promotions of ED that caused her to get demonetized. We owe her in her mind. And I am sure that her videos were privated because I had gone to her page and I could see them disappearing in blocks or sections, like she was going in and check marking to private a few at a time. And then she may have deleted some along the way, especially those that were flagged as a TOS violation. But had she just deleted her videos, all of her videos, she could have just cleared her page in one swipe. It was a process that I watched her do on and off for nearly 2 days, though, so I think she simply privated most of them. Amber would have also known the dramatic effect that that was going to have and how this end of an era arc would be very profitable in the upcoming months. She's doing everything she can to grift every cent she can because this is a necessary part of her narrative, and that is that she was victimized yet again by Hater Nation. Something that she failed to explain, though, while she was begging for money, is how she had planned on covering that alleged surgery bill, plus her 6 times a day DoorDash order, plus all of her other bills before she got demonetized, even though that YouTube check provably would not have covered all of that.
But I've been horrific with money. I'll say that. I've been horrific with money. And my CPM constantly was getting lowered, which means it's how much you get paid per 1,000 views. And everyone's on YouTube is different. No one gets paid the same amount, and it changes every single day, might I add.
And why do you think she left that part out? I think it's because she already knew that those expenses would be covered. The entire live stream was a grift to punish the viewers for victimizing her and to guilt them into paying their penance straight to her Cash App or Venmo. Do I believe that Amber is wealthy? No. Do I think she makes enough off of YouTube to survive within the parameters of her chosen lifestyle? Absolutely not. Do I think YouTube helped to supplement her necessary expenses? Yes. This is only an opinion, of course. This whole video is only an opinion, but I'm telling you, she's got people covering some of her expenses. There's no way around it. She said she was paycheck to paycheck with nothing saved except for the money for her tax bill. Also, did you all notice that smirk at the end after she had been actor crying the whole stream? I'm going to show it to you right here. Look at that Duper's Delight smirk. A woman who supposedly just lost everything, may be hungry, may be homeless, her dog may be dying, and she's smirking like that? I don't think so. She thinks that she's really gotten one over on her audience, but even if she does have it over on a few, it's not going to last for long. Side note, it is Thanksgiving Day, so a couple of days have passed since I had put this script together, but I just watched the Q&A that Amber did on Instagram, which Apathetic Facts then posted on YouTube. Amber does admit in that Q&A that she did in fact only private her videos, she did not delete them. She also responds to a question that asked if she'll lose weight now that her YouTube money is gone. And Amber responded by saying that she doesn't need money to be super morbidly obese. And that's crazy to me. She tried saying that we can just look at the people on my 600-pound life because most of them don't even have jobs. And she's right, many of them don't. But almost all of them are on some type of disability and also receiving food stamps. So they are being provided with a means to purchase whatever foods they choose to purchase. Amber making that statement was huge, in my opinion, because it was her way of saying that despite being jobless, selling everything she owns supposedly to pay her bills, and having no money saved, she's not going to be losing any weight. And then she compared her situation to others who have their food provided for them by an outside source. I just think it was very telling. She also proceeded to blame the ones who mass reported her instead of blaming herself for violating the TOS in the first place. She does not seem to understand that the promoting of EDs was never allowed, and they have really cut down on it. It will not be accepted in any form on any types of social media platforms, including TikTok, any longer. Amber must not be aware of the lawsuits and the recent legislations that have been changed. To be fair, though, I don't think she was watching the news when she was shoving half a cup of fried eggs and salty meats on every forkful into her mouth for views while staring into the camera and being over 600 pounds, so I guess she did not know that things were changing. Also, Amber did confirm that her Cash App was not working, so people can send her money through Venmo or by purchasing a Cameo instead. And this makes perfect sense because people have been reporting her Cash App and saying that she's scamming people out of money, and I agree with them. She is. Now, here's what I think Grifter Lynn is going to do. She's pissed right now, and she's in blame the world mode. But I believe she's going to be just fine. No one cry for her. I think she's going to make some changes, including getting rid of some of her junk to increase her cash on hand, because she did say in that stream that she always bought a bunch of junk because she grew up poor. She was afraid of never having any money. And so now that she's surrounded by nothing but that junk, it makes sense to me that she would get rid of that junk to turn it back into cash. Basically, I think that she is going to be selling stuff that she knows that she doesn't need, and she's going to overprice everything, kind of like she did in that nasty earring era. In the upcoming weeks and months, I think that she's going to be recording a lot of videos. Videos of the animals and of her terminally ill grandmother. I think she will record her vulnerabilities and hardships because she's going to have some. This is provably a change for her, so naturally she's going to have to reroute to compensate for those changes that she is going through. That's just part of life. But I also think that she's going to also try to make us think that she's a phoenix rising from the ashes. And just look at how independent our girl actually is. Now, in the background, I think that we are going to start seeing thirst traps again. TikToks and just videos of her doing the same nonsensical shit that got her in trouble on YouTube in the first place. Because when Amber feels depressed or when insecurities stare her down, she has a pattern of seeking out approval or acceptance through the form of videos, shorts, and Q&As. Just anything that gets her positive attention or affirmation. I think she will be back to YouTube if she doesn't eat herself into a nursing home or the grave over the next few months. Keep in mind, she could just delete her entire channel and start from scratch. But as of right now, she's got her channel up, and I think it's because she's keeping her options open. She will return because it's all she knows and it's all she has. She's not physically capable of doing anything else, which, by the way, that transcript that we saw of that job application, I think she wanted us to see that. She knew that it was on the screen, it was in plain sight. We all saw it. There's no way she didn't. I believe that was Amber's way of saying that she is talented and she is capable and she is independent and she can support herself outside of sitting on her ass and mukbanging the camera all day. I think the entire thing of showing the application was very intentional. She wants to keep us guessing about what she's doing as if she has options. I do believe that when she returns, she will have a new lease on life. She's going to have plenty of pre recorded videos, lots of content, possibly a new girlfriend or love interest, and she may even be in a different apartment. And I'm not ruling out that she'll have replaced our Twonk either, but that's a rabbit hole that I don't want to go down today. Let us just all hope and pray that she doesn't feel desperate or scorned enough to pull another rarity situation type deal on Twinkie to get back at all of us for having her demonetized. What do y'all think, though? What about that Duper's Delight smile, that gotcha bitches smirk that she showed all of us? Is she planning something? How do you all think she was going to pay her DoorDash and living expenses and Twinkie's supposed vet bill off of a paycheck that was too small to cover even a quarter of that? And if Twinkie is not having surgery, wasn't it so telling that we know her checks have only been around $2,000 or so per month lately, with zero supplemental money and zero emergency money saved? How was she planning on living the lifestyle that she has been choosing to live if she doesn't have the money to fund that lifestyle? How's she getting the money? I hope that you all have a wonderful day and a wonderful Thanksgiving. Be safe, be kind, be loved, and recognize all of your many blessings because we all have them. And I'm going to be back soon. I appreciate all of you. Talk to you later. Bye for now.